Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Kara. Today we're going to look at an offering to Persephone for spring to help invoke and bring back spring. All the items that are chosen here are to give her the offering that she needs. Join me today and let us invoke the spirit of Persephone. Okay, so the supplies that we're going to need today are some wheat, some poppies. I'm using just some silk poppies here, some dried pomegranate, some spruce cones, a little wood cookie, some copper wire, and some hot glue, wire cutters, and some 12-inch cinnamon sticks. So what we have here is a piece that I made last fall for the goddess Demeter. And this represents all the things to help invoke a home protection and an offering to this goddess. I would like to do a mother-daughter offering and now match up the star for the opposite side of my wall. Now, starting off with a cinnamon star, I wrapped the cinnamon sticks with copper wire, and copper is a great conductor, also amazing conductor for magical properties. Now, where I got these amazing cinnamon sticks this big was at a herb warehouse. It's called Bulk Barn. I have these, these are kind of the average size sticks I found. They're a little bit bigger, they're 6-7 inches long, but these large ones, if you really want to find some big cinnamon sticks, is best to get them at like a bulk barn or warehouse store. So I have everything on the right hand side, so I'm going to put everything on the left hand side for Persephone. Now, starting off with the wheat. The wheat is, I'm using fake wheat, don't judge, but I couldn't find any. Wheat is a gender feminine ruled by the planet Venus and the element Earth. The powers are for abundance, fertility, money, and rebirth. Magical uses in history, well, the wheat is the most sacred of the 7 sacred grains. Is represented by fruitfulness, bounty, and rebirth, and that's what we want for the springtime. To replenish itself to its golden color, in ancient Egypt and Babylonia, wheat was often used in funeral rites and represent the rebirth of the deceased in the afterlife. In ancient Greece, crowns of wheat were placed upon the heads of brides and grooms as a symbol of fertility. Carried or eaten, it thought would increase fertility or conception. Sleeves of wheat placed in the home, like a wheat wreath, attract money and abundance. So what I'm doing here, you could use hot glue throughout this whole thing if you have actual natural wheat, but this is a synthetic product that I have, so I had to actually use a bit of silicone or else the hot glue actually melts this, which I discovered when I made my last star to the offering Demeter. So just placing them in an odd shape pattern. Now I'm using my hot glue on there because I'm not worried about melting it on to the cinnamon. Now the cinnamon is really cool too. The cinnamon is ruled by the element air. and fire. The planetary is the sun, ruled by Aries and the solar plexus chakra. Magical properties of cinnamon is spirituality, success, healing, love, and money drawing. Amazing for money spells too. Also great protection bark as well. Now just placing some extra glue down to hold them in place before I place the last bundle of little wheat head. Using my hot glue to secure it, and then I shall move on to the poppies. Now these are nice silk poppies that I found at Michael's craft store. They are wired, so I'm having to use my wire cutters to get out the appropriate poppies. I'm going to cut off the leaves as well. Now the poppy is an element association is water. It's ruled by Neptune and the moon. Gemini is its flavor, as well as the chakra association is a third eye. Surprisingly, it's a feminine representation. The magical properties are for remembrance, rituals, divination, fertility again, sleep, dreams, astral offerings, and love. It aids in sleep, digestion, skin, and health as well. They often use to aid in sleep and attract love, luck, fertility, and money and carrying whence consumed. But poppy seeds you could also use are particularly good offerings to the dead, given their association with deities who have affinity for death or for the afterlife. Now I chose the poppy for that reason, as well as Persephone is also ruled by spring flowers. So I looked up spring flowers in Greece, and one of them were the poppy, and I love poppy, so I thought I'd use that. It was a kind of coincidence with the afterlife, rebirth, death, as well as a springtime. Our poppies here in Canada don't really grow till more summertime, mid to late summer. So that was an interesting little fact there for me. I thought that was pretty cool. Now we have the little spruce tree cones. In Greek mythology, the spruce tree was dedicated to Artemis, actually, the goddess of the moon, hunting, nature, and protector of women. So that's a really nice one to have as well. The Greeks suggested that enduring spring spruce tree represented consistent internal life and was labeled the tree of birth. See the little coincidences when you start collecting your herbs? Look up the properties of your herbs and your pieces and your things that you use in your crafts. And it's quite interesting. You will always find a correlation as well. Different magical aspects of the spruce is enlightenment, healing, grounding, protection, cleansing, and intuition. Even the spruce needles are known for the wise folk to enhance magical powers and abilities, but the spruce itself helps develop intuition and can be burned to stimulate psychic abilities as well. The spruce provides protection and helps overcome and remove hexes. The needles or cones can be used to conduct or connect with energy of the local forest spirits as well. I thought that was pretty cool. Now at last we have the pomegranate. Now in Canada we only get the pomegranate from about November, December. So I had to I cut these and dry these in my dehydrator and waited for this craft for springtime. I knew I was going to be offering to Persephone, so I waited and had these for so long. I think the pomegranate is so perfect for this. The pomegranate represents Persephone. The magic of the pomegranate radiates feminine energy, similar to the Empress Tarot. The pomegranate is a fertile and passionate. However, the arrows of the high priestess, the fruit, has hidden profoundly a mystical side. As a result, the pomegranate captivated spiritual thinkers and powerful witches alike for millennia. It has come to be a symbol of change of the seasons due to the prominent role in the story of Hades and Persephone. The Greek legend tells that Persephone, daughter of Demeter, the grain goddess, was taken into the underworld to be the bride of Hades. She was eventually retrieved. Whilst there, she ate nothing except a few seeds of the pomegranate, and thus was bound to return to the underworld for 1 month each year for every seed that she ate. Many traditions hold that Persephone is a happy bride and returns gladly to her husband each fall. Demeter agrees when her daughter's away, and the world descends into a cold and darkness until Persephone returns, and the mother's joy reunion warms the world into spring. So choosing the pomegranate for the symbolism for Persephone was extremely fitting. Adding now a loop to the top, and we're also going to add a little twine to, I think this is ash tree, which is also the tree of life, birth, amazingness. And there we have it, our offering to Persephone for spring for our home. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me today. Let me know if you're going to make something like this, or you've made something like this before, an offering to the goddesses. And throw me that little like up and subscribe and ring that bell so you know when the next video comes out. And have yourself an absolutely magical day.